So what the heck is this?
It is night vision goggles.
Show me. Is it nighttime now?
Where'd you go?
I got 10 ready. Are you ready?
10 ready. I am.
I got 10 ready.
Hang on a second.
I've been popping sugar pills all day, so I'm ready to go. Are we the same height now? There we go.
Like I was too.
All right. So,
I'm so high.
10 things,
Yep.
14 spots,
Yes.
10 minutes.
Yep.
Let's spin.
Whee! All right. What's it gonna be? What do you think it's gonna
I'm
be?
gonna bet $10 on red. 10 on red. There.
Ah!
Oh, dang it.
Shoot!
What's it on?
Cold calling.
Cold calling.
Yep.
All right. So this is Jeff's. I'm gonna set the timer for 10 minutes.
And go.
Here we go. Jeff.
Dr. Dreesen.
So, what is cold calling?
Cold calling is when you're prospecting for your business and you're just randomly calling or visiting folks that you don't know you're going to be there and may not want you to be there in most cases.
And let's back up even further. So now you've got obviously a product or a service.
Yep.
And you're calling people. Now, where do these people that you're calling come from?
Well, it depends on your industry, but most people can get a list. So I'll just give you an example. One industry I was in, I was selling advertising. So I would go to the supermarkets where they would have, we used to call it the little nickel. So it was one of these little weekly,
Right.
like a
Yeah,
newspaper
right.
type product.
Yeah, right.
And it would have all different kinds of categories, and I would go and you'd find something where you'd look to see somebody that's trying to promote their business, and I'd try to call them to see if I could help promote their business.
Well, really?
Yes. So
That's like old school. I mean, that's analog. So
That's-
you're like going through the
going through, yep.
somebody that says, "Hey, I need help with like a brochure design or
Right.
something."
So the thing about it,
This is before the internet,
before the internet and during the internet,
right?
because the one thing I would stress is with cold calling, a lot of times what people will do is they'll get digital lists, so they'll get dialers, or they'll do certain things where they're trying to get a computer to do all the work for you. But there are still companies that are advertising in newspapers, TV, radio, whatever. No one is off limits when you're cold calling. So you can either find products analog,
Unless they're on the do not call list.
unless they're on the do not call list.
Because we tried that at our clinic where we had all these people getting called around our neighborhood. Then the do not call list came out.
Right.
And then you have to download the do not call list
Yep.
into your system so that it picks out all the people not to
Right.
call. And we didn't
Yeah.
have that technology back then, so we basically had to
Right.
shut down our system.
So let's assume you've done that.
Okay.
Biggest thing about cold calling really is the type of things that you're going to do on a cold call. The thing that is the worst possible thing to do. So if you're a person who's cold calling and you've never owned a business, or you've never been a manager that used to get cold calls all the time, you'll know right away what I'm talking about.
Right.
The worst type of call to get is the phone rings, you think it might be a customer, or you're not sure, you pick it up, hello, hi, this is Tom, and I'm with such and such, and we've got this product. And as soon as they get you on the line, they think they've got to spew out all their crap.
Plus, they think that I'm like just sitting there waiting for their call. It could be like, so John, just a second, let me grab this, and then we can talk about that $1 million deal. Hello?
Right. Oh, hi, Dr. Dreesen, this is Jeff. I've got this great product that is
Can
going
you hold-
to... No, just a second.
I'm sorry.
It's this great product that's going to... Okay.
So, you've been able to take this whole concept, though, and flip it so that when you do call people, they can take the phone call and they understand what's going on, and from that, get a sale or a lead from it.
Right. The thing that
So how do you spin it?
The first thing you have to do is you have to be genuine. You can't be just like, it is a numbers game, but it's not like I got to get through 1,000 today and I'm just going to call.
Right.
And I'm going to get lucky and find some poor schlep who's going to, listen to me and then buy from me. So the thing that's most important is if you're genuine, first thing you're going to do when you pick up the phone.
Right.
So I dial.
Hello? Yeah.
Hi, is this Dr. Dreesen?
Yes.
Hi, Dr. Dreesen. This is Jeff, and I don't want to take too much of your time. Is this an okay time to talk for a second?
Either no or yes. I'm going to say yes.
Okay,
I've got a couple of minutes.
Okay, great. I appreciate your time, and I won't take much of it. I'm calling, and then the next thing you're going to do is called an IRC. That's your interest creating remark. That's the thing that you have to have. That it can't be an elevator 30-second speech, really. It has to be a one line. So if you're selling a product that you're reaching a dentist, a chiropractor, any professional person,
Right.
if it was something like, oh, hey, Dr. Dreesen, I understand that you're trying to do cold calling, or you're trying to operate off of lists, but now this new do not call list has probably got you hung up and you've probably given it up. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, listen, if I can have another minute, we've got a product that will incorporate your do not call list and give you lists of potential patients. Is that something that would be interesting to you? Would you like to set up a time where I can, send you some information and we can go over it together?
I would love for you to send me information and. Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
I hung up. It's
You hung up on me.
It's so. But so the idea is get that the first thing you have to do is respect their time. Because
Right.
if you call and you say, hey, listen, this is who I am.
Right.
Do you have a minute? And if they go, no, I don't have a minute right now. Okay, what would be a better time? Now you've gone from just invading their space to, this isn't good because I'm getting ready to fire somebody, or I just got out of a meeting or about to go into a meeting. You know what, I don't have time right now, but actually tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Now we have an appointment. Okay?
Right.
Now it's like, hey, well, this guy was respectful, he was very polite, wasn't pushy, he did give me a whole spiel. And so now we have a starting off point. Next thing that we're going to want to do, after you get your interest creating remark, is you have to believe in your product. You can't just read from a script that some autonomous person has given you. Hi, yes, Dr. Dreesen, I'm Jeff with such and such, and we actually have been in business for. I mean, it's a thing now where you're starting to get those calls to your business and home where it sounds like a telemarketer, but it's not. It's really. Oh, I'm so sorry, I dropped my headset there. Oh, hey, listen, we've got this great product that right into their spiel.
Right. And then our family, we just keep going, hello, anybody there? Hello, anybody there? They keep talking.
Yeah.
It's a robot, so we just hang up.
I hang up anyway. If I say, excuse me, no, this isn't a good time, and they keep talking, then.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if people are trying to sell you something and they won't be quiet enough or just stop for a second, it's like, unfortunately, they're getting paid to get their,
Right.
to say their thing, and they,
Right.
I mean,
And
for them it is.
to go through their spiel. The other thing is, and the worst thing is just the people that are just going to bully through their script as soon as you pick up the phone and say hello.
Right. So what's the form, or what's the bam 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 when you put together a cold call? Your intro, your meat, and your call to action.
The biggest thing is don't think. It depends on the product. If it's an inexpensive product,
Right.
and maybe it's a $5 or $10, you're trying to buy people to get to buy raffle tickets for a fundraiser or something.
Right.
You can just call and close right away. Hey, listen, this is a fundraiser for you guys. The local high school. You advertise in their yearbook.
Right. Right.
Hey, we're doing this thing.
Well, it's already a soft lead or a warm lead.
Right. That's $20. It's nothing. Is that
Right.
something that you'd be able to help us with? Oh, of course. Yeah. Here, let me put you over to my
I'll
reception.
do that all day long.
Okay. If it's more sophisticated, if it's a digital product, or if it's a product designed to help your website or something like that, you don't want to go into a whole, because again, he's not set aside a half hour, and
No, and my mindset's not. Oh yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Right.
You're pulling me from my job.
Even if you were just thinking about that, even if it's like been bugging you, and I happen to call you at the right time. You've got other things going on and you don't want to set aside that time. I see that we're getting low on time. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is make sure that you boil it down to exactly the information that they're going to need to know to help them start to make a decision. Call back, have an appointment set up where you've actually forwarded through an email, or in the mail is always good too. Information, set up that appointment, call them back, talk to them. One of the other things about cold calling is don't ever, if you're going to say something like, hey, Dr. Dreesen, I assume you're the business owner. You're the person that makes the decisions.
Well, yes, I am.
Okay. Now, if I talked to your marketing person, and I ask your marketing person, are you the one that's able to make these decisions? You know. Now, it's one thing to ask that because you want to make sure all the people involved in this decision-making process,
Right.
you can get them on the phone at the same
Right.
time.
Am I talking to the
But-
decision maker?
But if you are pushy and you say things like, "Are you the decision maker?" and I say, "Yes, I'm the one you need to talk to who's going to make this decision."
That would
Okay,
be my
great.
wife.
If 3 minutes later you go again, now listen, now we're going to do this thing, we're going to meet again on Thursday. Are you, Dr. Dreesen, the person who's going to... If you have to ask more than once, it's offensive to the person. If I'm not the owner of the company, but I'm the marketing manager or the
Right.
director of marketing or
Right.
whatever, and you say, well, now is the president, do we need to get him in on this as well? You're insulting the person that you're talking to, and it's very likely that they're not going to keep their appointment with you, and they may just hang up the phone.
Anything else?
The only thing is, be genuine. Understand that what you're trying to sell them is something that's going to help them, not just you.
All right.
Woohoo! Yes.
You